guys, this is Agent M, also known as Pastor Mallory, the children's pastor at Northgate Wesleyan Church. And guys, I am behind on the videos. I didn't even do any last week because I just totally was too busy, so I apologize. And today is our last week that we are going to do videos until after Christmas. So I hope you guys tune in January and when we launch a whole new series of something. So be looking forward to that. I don't have any teasers, but I will do a trailer in January, just letting you know what that's gonna look like. So today is a Wednesday, and Wednesdays are when Agent M challenges you. And I thought it was fitting that since we're getting close to Christmas and the time when we give gifts, maybe we can make a couple gifts for others. And one of them that I thought that we could do was make origami rings. Like this one right here on my finger. It's Christmassy. It actually has sayings. It has stars and words on it. And I also have a different color that I'm going to make one out of so that I can have multiple colors. You can do it of any color paper that you want. And you can also make these out of money, because in the past I have actually, for my niece and nephew, made them money rings so that they could wear them, but also they could spend them later. So they're multi-purpose. So they're pretty fun and they're kind of simple to make. So hopefully you'll be able to follow along in my video as I give you the instructions. So yeah, this is one of the rings, and you can pick any kind of paper that you want. Now, I really do suggest that you choose a thinner paper. If you do like a thick cardstock, like this one's kind of thick, a thicker one, and it's a little harder to fold. So I would suggest, if it's your first time folding these, that you go with a thinner paper, a thinner cardstock, because that will save you some time and frustration, because the thicker it is, the harder to fold. So yeah, this one, you're gonna probably see me having to really press down on the creases because you need the folds to be very creased in order for it to do what you want it to do. So that is my challenge as Agent M to you, creating gifts for others. You can also create them for yourself, but I'm hoping that you make a little bit of jewelry for those around you. If you have a couple dollars in your piggy bank and you want to be creative in how you give maybe a friend or someone you love a gift, you can give them a gift of $1 in the shape of a ring, which I think is pretty special. So with that, let's get into the instructions. Ready? All right, guys, this is the original paper that I used to make this ring. And as you can see, I have the design on this side, but I have a white back side. So that's the side we're going to be working from. We're going to be looking straight from the white. If you want to know the measurements, if you don't have a dollar bill to go off of, it's like you can try 2.5 by 6 or over 6 inches, because those measurements will be good enough. I mean, if you wanted to go a little wider, it doesn't really matter. It's just going to make your ring fatter, or if you go like not so wide, it's going to make it thinner. So normally on a dollar bill, you're kind of limited and you have to go with that size, and it's just easier to base it off something that you know it works. So that's what I did, kind of went off the measurements of a dollar bill. So I did not give you the precise measurements, but I just kind of went 2.5 by 6 because it's like 6.1 something in length in inches. So that is what we're doing. We're looking at the white side, and the first thing we're going to do is fold the top. On the dollar bill, it's actually pretty simple because it has a white border that is a certain thickness. And where the green starts is where you're gonna fold the top to. So you would fold it in like this, folding it forward. So that if you have paper like mine, you would be folding the color forward. Now, I'm gonna do that down here just because it's easier, because my paper is thick. Please, if you were doing this for the first time, do not use thick paper. It is harder if you do. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly the same all the way across. So you're just making a fold approximately, you know, yay big. It doesn't have to be, you don't want it too wide, you just want the top folded down, okay? Then you're gonna take this bottom down here and fold it up so that you're folding it in half. And you're just gonna take it up to that top and make your crease. You want that to be a good crease, just like you want the top to be a good crease. So now we have this size, and we're gonna do that again, but now we're folding the top down. So back in half, fold the top down, and make your crease. So now the opening is at the bottom. Next, once again, this is easier with a dollar bill because it has that border, that white border. So you would see your 1 in a square right here. It would be like a perfect square, and then there would be this white border at the end. That's about the thickness of my nail. If you can see, it's like that thick. And so you would go to where that border ends. It has like a straight line, and you would fold that back. So if you have thick paper, you kind of want to go a little farther than what that border would be. So I'm going to show you. I folded it back, and mine is about that much. Then you're looking back at the front, and with the dollar bill, you would see that perfect square around it, and you would go over to the far line that's over here, and you would fold back on that. But I don't have one, so I'm just going, you want it to be the width of this paper. So if I just kind of take that, go over here, I want to fold back right there. It's approximate, it'll work. Okay, so did you see that? You see what I did? I folded the little tip, then I folded the square back, just like that. So now it's in the back, looking at the front. We're then gonna lay it down, and you're gonna wanna go over about 2.5 inches and take the end and fold it up. So when you're looking down at what I'm doing here, you're taking this end and you're folding it up. And guys, there's way better tutorials on YouTube if you want to watch how to fold a dollar bill. This is just H&M kind of giving you her instructions. Hopefully they're helpful and not worse. So now that's up in the air, and you have this tail, like it's like a little doggy tail wagging in the air. So I've got my square in the back, I got this little tail folded straight up, and now they're going to come back and meet each other. Now I'm gonna, because I have thicker paper, I'm gonna kind of get this so it's rounded because I need it to be flexible. So I'm just kind of slowly building the flexibility here, because this guy is gonna flip straight over like that. Okay, and this guy's gonna come meet it and just sit there. Sit on top of it. See that? They came to meet each other. And then you're gonna open your little square, and you're gonna take this tail and bend it over. Bend it over. You're gonna bring that box over, and now you see that little end that you folded. See that little end you folded? It's gonna tuck underneath that tail you just brought over. Okay? It's probably gonna pop out a couple times until we do something with this piece. See, the end is still popping out. So if I flip this over so that you can see my ring, there are a couple places you can stick this extra piece. You can stick it in the folds here. There's a fold And with a dollar bill, it's a lot easier where you can kind of just push this down into that fold. But with thick paper, it's hard. So I'm just gonna fold it underneath here. Just like, let's get a good angle. I'm gonna fold it, and I'm just gonna stick it, because my finger is gonna hold it mostly together. Like that. So guys, you then have your ring for others to see. And I apologize, this light, if I turn it off, it's dark and there's shadows. So I'm trying to give you good lighting, but I am not a professional by any means. So there's my 2 rings that you can see. And I did make one out of the pretty colorful paper so that you can see that one too. Put it on my pinky. Look at all my bling bling. Beautiful, beautiful. So there you guys have it. That is Agent M's challenge to you. Making a thoughtful gift for someone else, but also you can keep some of them for yourself. So if you really enjoy the rings and you want to make your own bling bling, then you can do that too. So up to you guys, but I do hope that you are remembering that this is the season of giving and you get an opportunity to give. Now it is that time where I tell you who our next Bible character is going to be. And since it's going to be our last Bible character until the new year, and it's the season of celebrating Jesus, that is of course who my character is going to be. So what I'm going to do is something a little different. I'm not just going to give you verses that you can go look up. What I'm asking you agents of truth out there to do is I want you to look at the story of Jesus' birth in all 4 Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And when you read all 4 of them, I want you to find out what's different and what's the same. Is there anything same in them? Is there anything that's different in them? Because they're each from a different point of view. So they kind of share a different aspect of the birth of Jesus that maybe you didn't notice before, because we often read Luke 2 because it gives a lot of details. It gives more details than some of the others. But there are still important things to note in the other Gospels, because Luke 2 does not talk about the Magi, doesn't talk about the wise men. So where do we find out about the wise men? I want you to look into what is the whole story of Jesus' birth and how does each gospel tell us about it. So that is what I'm asking you agents of truth to do. Go searching in all 4 of the stories and see what you can find. And then share that with me, because that is what we're going to talk about on Friday. That is all I have for you, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye!